Okay, okay, cool. So on these, you recently wrote on a Huffington Post, which is all this is tied into me, which I love. Like, I'm fascinated by this stuff. So I appreciate really a lot what you wrote in Attack of the Clones, and the other one you wrote, Industry Live number 4080. It's first of all, I want to tell you, like, it's so well written, and I mean that's some of the best journalism I've read all year. You know, like, it's top notch, and you really put the arguments. Yeah, you really put the arguments out there in just such a clear way. I mean, it's hard to argue with it. So I want to ask you about that, if you could talk about it. Speaking of politics, sort of at the grassroots level, and politics being a tease like that. Tell me about, like, the industry influence of how and to what extent that has influence over the lack of topical diversity that you write about in the other article.
Huffington Post is the more and more I write for Huffington Post, you know, super shouts to Huffington Post for allowing me to write. The more and more I write for them, the more I'm pushing the boundaries of, you know, just how far can I go saying, you know, exactly what's on my mind. You know what I mean? I'm always saying what's on my mind, but I'd like to write an article on how the people that control media implement the topical uniformity in order to drive people into prison, in order to get people to spend as much money as they can on stupid-ass trinkets before they drive them into prison, because the prison industrial system is a major money maker, and how it's just about churning up money. You know, that's why I talk about, I'm looking to hit things, I'm looking to just to send out jabs with Huffington Post. You know, you can listen to my music and hear roundhouses and hear, you know, left hooks and real power body blows. You know, I'm jabbing in the Huffington Post like, check this out, people. Isn't this a little weird that rap used to sell way better than it does when it was about rapping well instead of buying mad alcohol and selling mad drugs and being all corny and, you know, being the type of role model that's going to make somebody very easy to manipulate? You know what I'm saying? Here, check this out. Let me put you on to something real quick. Check this topical diversity out. It was working great. What happened with that? You know, I put up a video on my Facebook fan page from Wise Intelligent, from Poor Righteous Teachers, and he goes on a great 6.5 minute. He talks about for 6.5 minutes. You know, how hip hop changing from positive to negative in media was not a product of history. You know what I mean? How it happened. The media decided to do it. Nobody stopped. You know, and he references X-Clan. He references Public Enemy. Me, myself, I remember nobody stopped liking De La Soul. Nobody stopped liking Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like these groups all of a sudden, people wanted groups that were bad for, you know, that you would never want your kids to grow up to be like. You know what I mean? That has now become what kids want to grow up to be like, and what adults even, you know, we're in a generation now of people that are there are adults now that were raised by hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And there are people in adult situations, even though they're very young, that were raised by hip-hop and don't know how to think, because they're thinking thug life. They grew up thinking thug life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is a thug? A thug is a criminal too stupid to do anything else but be muscle. That's what a thug is. And at one point, the media was like, "Yo, we're gonna hype this thug life thing up. If we put it in enough places, people will they control." That's what those articles are about. That's why I'm pointing out that whenever good stuff is exposed as much as corny stuff, it always does better. But the point is, they could put anything out. We're not dealing with, you know, mob mentality is a real thing. People know about slavery. They know about the Holocaust. They know about, you know, they know about mob mentality. People know that people on the whole do not think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't anything that's people disagree with. The people that manipulate what everybody's talking about, what everybody's saying, they have the power to control culture. Art does not imitate life anymore. Life imitates art. You know what I'm saying? The poor excuse for art that we've been shown. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to trust these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, these dudes are getting paid. That's why, you know, I can't say all this in a Huffington Post joint. Maybe I can. I mean, I'm saying a little bit more with every piece. The next piece, I'm going to say a little bit more. Maybe I could really say this. Maybe when I get my next piece, the editor for Huffington Post is going to say, this is kind of over the top, eh? Do you really think that the people that control, the people that control media are trying to enslave people? Is that what you really, that is what I really think. That's what I think is as obvious as when it's daytime out. But you're not allowed to say these types of things. Everybody feels a lot more comfortable being like, oh, they're nice guys. And the funny thing about it is no one likes these records. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be one thing if that's like these records. People that don't know any better. That's why it's all pointed at children. The thing is so obvious. Oh, man, you just helped me with my next piece with the little and young thing. Everybody came out and was little this and young this. Who's little? Who's young? Children are little and young. That's who's little and who's young. That is why all this stuff is going towards kids. Who's little and young? I'm not little and young. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to this garbage thinking it's about me. Little young people are. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I'm little and young trying to get a grip on life. Maybe I'll be an ass, part of my language. But that seems to get, people get you a little bit of shine. You know what I'm saying? But to me, this is clear as crystal. But I'm shooting jabs in the Huffington Post. But if you ask me in an interview or, if you listen to the record, and I'm not, it's not like I'm not keeping it real in HuffPo. I know HuffPo goes out to zillions of people, and I want them to get, as much as they could get. You know what I mean? But,
wow.
Does that answer your question?
Yo, let me tell you, man, you just blew my mind. That was good, man. Like, I'm with you on a lot of that, but you said you dropped some gems there that, like, I never considered, man. That is bugging me out.